I've always wanted to make a webtoon, but for a long time, I was too afraid to let anyone see me do that. But today, I want to talk about why I'm changing that. So, we're going to talk about the trap of waiting to be good and how I think sharing your work is actually going to speed up your art growth, and why I'm trying to build a space for those of us who feel a little bit behind. I also have a little guide I'd like you to meet at the end of the video. So, if you're also trying to build something from scratch, I'd love to have you along for the ride, or just enjoy the time lapse. So let's talk about that not good enough trap. That silent phase where we're all afraid to show our art. I think I spent a solid amount of time here, honestly, before I even ever picked up a pencil, worrying that my art would never be up to the standard I have for myself. I told myself I'd start a story once I was ready, or that my line work was at a professional standard. But honestly, I think that was just creative paralysis. And I think my art will likely never be up to my standard. I think that's kind of what held me back from creating art in the first place. So just know art has a steep learning curve. Here's a graph, but it's not easy. Your eyes will be better before your hands, and your hands will be above your eyes for a while, and you'll repeat that process until you overcome a block. And, I don't think my art will ever be perfect, but the hope with learning it in public is that my art can eventually become consistent and I can learn those skills I need, like, well, being able to draw, understanding panel flows, character dialogues, and overall just create something I'm proud of. And there's going to be a different kind of energy that happens when somebody's watching you draw. It's not going to be about the pressure of someone watching. It'll be more about the accountability of knowing that somebody could watch and somebody's going to know what I'm doing. So when I share my progress, it'll turn drawing from a maybe I'll do this later kind of thing into a more meaningful part of my day where I get to share what I'm doing with you guys, with the community. It'll also build a habit of me for showing up to doing it. Again, if not for me, for you guys. Even if what I'm creating is not going to be a masterpiece, and I don't want you to expect a masterpiece, especially as a beginner. I want to show you all that growth can happen and that even a beginner like me can achieve their art goals if they want to. In my case, that happens to be creating a webtoon, and I'm not close to that yet, as you can see behind you, but that's okay because I will get there. So, with that being said, I'm curious, what's the one project you've been holding back on? Because you don't feel quote unquote capable of doing it yet. What are your difficulties? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it and build a community, where we can help each other grow and overcome struggles. And soon I'm going to show you how I'm tracking my improvements, and I'll finally introduce you to the little guy I've been drawing in the background here that's been helping me kind of stay grounded with this whole YouTube thing. Anyway, there's, in my opinion, so much elitism in the art world. I think it's really easy for us beginners to look at a pro webtoon artist in my case, or maybe a pro comic artist also in my case, or like a Riot illustrator, or just anyone you admire, and think I could never do that. That can't be me. But I think that it's okay to show that messy middle side of us that we have, like the bad sketches or the weird proportions, the jagged squiggly lines, because it lets us kind of take the control back. It makes us realize that everyone starts at level zero, and being vulnerable about that struggle is how we're actually going to improve, instead of stubbornly thinking, well, it's just going to happen. I'll get that magic click and things will all be an uphill battle from here and rainbows and all. And I think an easy way to manage this is by, well, relating it to something that you love. What drives you? In my case, I love webtoons. I read them often. I absolutely adore stories with progressions and lit RPG stats, stats you can level up, and just honestly, I think it's a sense of constant growth and improvement. And for me, trying to look at my art the same way has helped me overcome some days where I just simply don't feel like drawing. So part of the reason I'm starting this channel is to actually see that growth, day by day. It's not going to be about me hitting that quote unquote pro status anymore. Now it's going to be about me seeing that 1% improvement or experience gain every week. And I think that undeniably, when I look back at a video I created a month ago, or even this video a month from now, there's no chance I can't see some level ups in my art. And the progress is going to become something that's undeniable. And I think that's what it's ultimately all about, is to stop looking at the big picture and look for your small wins. Watch your numbers go up and take satisfaction that you're constantly improving. So start taking moments for yourself. Don't let it be all about that grind. Don't sit there and draw 100 boxes in a day and that's all you do. Set aside time for yourself after your drawing session to really appreciate what you've done and celebrate it. Ultimately, the goal for this channel isn't going to be anything grand or elitist. I'm just a guy who loves webtoons and I love lit RPG stories, and I'm trying to figure out how to bridge the gap between, well, I love these stories and I actually want to make these stories. So I want this channel to be a safe space for all of us. The people who look at professional art and feel like they missed the boat, or maybe they feel too old, or the people who want to create but feel overwhelmed by all the technical aspects of the tutorials you see online. There's a lot of those. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in the creative spaces on skill levels specifically. And I think it can be really intimidating to post anything when you're still at my level, level 0. I want this to be a space where, it's okay to be a beginner. I want us to build a group where we can celebrate our small wins, share our weird mistakes, and build something we're all proud of together, one step at a time. If you've ever felt like you're behind in your art journey, just know you're not here alone. I feel the exact same way. So in this community, let's do away with the pressure of being a master at anything and focus on our own grinds. Let's have no judgment and just be a community of people learning to play the game together. So, as I promised, I wanted a way to kind of represent this whole journey visually. So I've been drawing this little guy for the past, I don't know, 7 or so minutes, as you've seen in the background here for quite a while now. I'm calling him Drafty. He isn't perfect. His lines are a bit shaky, imperfect. He's simple, and honestly, he's kind of poorly drawn on purpose. He's a reminder to me, and hopefully to you, that it's okay to be a draft while you're working towards the final version of yourself. So he's going to represent our level 1 phase, where everything we do is going to be a work in progress. He's going to be here to celebrate our +1 XP moments with us and help us laugh off the bad days where art just kind of feels like a chore. He's going to be the mascot for anyone who isn't brave enough to be bad at something until they're good at it. So, with that said, an introduction's done. Meet Drafty, the first official member of our creative party. Hey guys, thanks for the experience. If you liked this video, then YouTube also thinks you'll like this one. And if you like my content, why not consider dropping a subscribe? Thank you, bye.